Everybody, I'm Kelly Hogan, and welcome back to my Zero Carb Life. I'm joined here today by 8 of my group members and now also friends who have come here today to share some recent breakthroughs in their carnivore journeys. I just simply said, if any of you have something that's been working for you lately and you would be brave enough to come and share it on YouTube, volunteer. And they did. Suckers. No, I'm kidding. I'm so glad they're willing to do it. If you enjoy the video, get something out of it, and you're willing to say thank you to them for volunteering their time today, that would be a really nice thing to do. I'm going to start today with Hannah because she does need to leave pretty soon. I know that she wants to speak a little bit about how she went carnivore and then what it was that recently made her carnivore experience even better. Hi, Hannah.
Hi, Kelly. So for me, my husband went carnivore over a year ago, and I thought, wow, this is amazing for you, but this doesn't work for women. Women need carbs for different parts of our cycle and for so many things. And while I would love to do it and have that same experience, I can't because I'm a woman. And then, I got diagnosed with intramural uterine fibroids, and I was told, oh, you need to have a hysterectomy because you have one that's the size of an orange, another the size of the lime, and there's just no way to do it. But my husband found Dr. Barry's in a video that showed, hey, ask your doctor if you can just, try out carnivore for 30 days or 90 days and see if it works for you. And so here I am 6 months later, still seeing if it works for me. I had a hormone imbalance, extreme estrogen dominance, low progesterone and testosterone, GI issues, thyroid issues. My cortisol never awakened. And while I got off of my, supplements within a couple of weeks of starting carnivore, because I was wondering, are they keeping me from healing faster? So I finally got off of them. I improved, but it was just ever so slightly. And I thought, maybe something's wrong with me. Why is this taking longer for me to feel better? Other people say, oh, they feel great after the third day. And here I am 3, 4, 5 months later, still not feeling great. So I saw, some videos from Dr. Bright. I started iodine just to 2 to 3 drops a day of 2% because I couldn't find 5%. Yes. And it wasn't until I saw your video with Dr. Brownstein, Kelly, that he actually specified, no, if you have some growth or something, you need 50 milligrams a day. So once I went to 20 drops of the 2%, within a day, I felt not euphoric, but what everybody else said that they experienced on day 3 of carnivore. And so ever since I've added the iodine in, I'm nicer in my own head, which is a big deal because it's hard sometimes to be nice to people outside of your own head too. I'm more patient with my kids. Even my daughter will be like, oh yeah, it's been a big difference. I'm more focused, and all of my hormones feel so much more balanced. So it's been amazing for me. So the carnivore plus iodine has been my key to more of the success and the healing that, I was seeking in the first place.
All right. So Hannah, going carnivore, you did feel some benefit, but really you said you had to work your way up to then 20 drops of 2%. Is that what you're currently doing? That's working really well?
Correct. Yep.
Great.
I do 20 drops every single morning.
So I did do an interview with Dr. Barry about this, and he, in the comment section of that video, there were several hundred comments of people. I would say about half of them said, oh my gosh, I started taking iodine and everything got better. And then about half said, I either didn't notice any difference or it made things worse. So what I would encourage people to do is if you're not feeling great, you could get your iodine levels checked. My friend Danny Conway says test, don't guess. Or you could start really slow and low with iodine. Like you said, 2 to 3 drops of 2%. If it doesn't cause any harm and you want to slowly increase, see if that's something that's going to help. But I'm thrilled, so thrilled that you're feeling better. And thank you that you took time out right before you had to leave to share what has given you positive results. So you and your husband both feeling good these days.
Amazing. So much better. I still have healing to go, but I mean, the way I feel now is night and day different the way I did 6 months ago.
That's great. Hannah, thank you so much. I appreciate your time. All right, next up, I have Robin. And I know on this channel, we end up with a lot of weight loss stories. And the last share was not about weight loss either. And Robin I don't know if you came here thinking anything about weight loss, but I know something other than weight loss also happened for you. So tell us a little about your journey here.
It did. It did. Thanks so much for letting me share. So the weight loss part was my husband was trying to. I
Okay.
definitely still need to lose about 20 pounds, but I originally got involved in this and started eating this way because my husband looked into it. And honestly, I thought, well, I'll do it with him to kind of encourage him and it'll be easier. And I'm all about eating a steak. I mean,
Yes.
tell me I can eat some fat and a steak. I'm good. So even though I will tell you, I did think he was crazy. And I am a colon cancer survivor. I had stage 3 colon cancer. So, of course, my doctor told me limit red meat,
Yes.
lots of fiber, all the stuff. So I thought, well, okay, but I'm 8 years out. So I thought, we'll still do this. I have always been a runner. I've run marathons. I've always run road races. And on top of that, I'm a klutz. So those two things don't go together. Running, especially when I'm running with my dogs. I've had both of my ankles have been broken because of injuries while running with my dogs. So
Okay.
another time I tripped over my dog. I mean, it's just, I'm a klutz. So with that, they healed, but I kind of gave up the running because the pain, it just hurt. My ankles still hurt. So I started walking more. Back to my doctor and I said, my ankles still hurt. And she said, I'm sorry, you have arthritis. You're old. And I thought, okay. So I just decided, my friend and I decided, we're old. We're going to have arthritis. Well, we're
Gosh.
just going to hurt. That's just the way it is. We're old. So when I started doing this with my husband, I'm still walking, really didn't even, it kind of gradually got better. And when things slowly change, you really don't notice.
Yes.
But then one day I was thinking, I'm not hurting anymore. This is so crazy. So went on vacation with some friends and unfortunately I kind of went off the rails and ate bad with them. We went walking and I hurt again. And I thought, oh, this is so weird. The only thing that's changed is I added back in the crap food.
Yes.
So went back to eating right, just eating animal-based foods. And I don't hurt anymore. My ankles do not hurt. It's the craziest thing. I also do the iodine. We do notice a difference with that. My husband noticed he will get sluggish. And when I'm like reminding him to do the iodine, he feels better. I have introduced sardines. I had sardines for breakfast, thanks to you, and I'm still not hungry. So it's crazy how that works. I know.
Yeah. For somebody who's been in pain for years, and to be told, first of all, that you're old, girl, you don't look old. I'll say that much. You don't look
I'm
old.
55. I'm up there.
Well, you're older than I thought you were. That's for sure. Okay. All right. That's still not old.
I'm old.
No, but for somebody to think this is it, this is just my pain, it's just going to get
Yeah,
worse, and
yeah,
then change your diet and the pain suddenly goes away, that is so
yeah,
cool. Robin, people
yeah,
need to hear that. Thank
yeah.
you. That's awesome.
Well, thanks for letting me share.
Absolutely. Okay, next up, I have Colleen. She made a change that changed. I don't know if anything physical has changed about you, Colleen, if you want to tell about that too. But I think yours was also an internal difference. So tell us a little about that.
I actually started researching diet changes because arthritis was coming back. I had debilitating arthritis when I was in my early 20s,
Mm.
and I struggled through that with all of the drugs and every possible kind of alternative medicine I could come up with and every elimination diet, and nothing really helped. But I managed to get my symptoms down enough that I could function in life. So that was great. But then it started to come back, and I was like, no, that can't come back. I need to be able to put my own clothes on and hold the coffee cup. So that was why I looked into the diet changes. But the thing that really has shocked me, I mean, yes, pain's gone, same as Robin.
Huh.
And inflammation is just incredibly so much better. So that's fantastic. But I was shocked with the carb cravings going away. I didn't even realize that I was craving carbs. I just thought that was normal,
Yeah.
that there was absolutely no possibility of going to a social event or a Christmas dinner and not eating way too many sweets.
Right.
Or even like I would go through the drive-through. I'm in Canada. Tim Hortons drive-through is like super important. and you go through the drive-through to get a coffee and a donut.
Oh.
And I would be like, no donut, no donut. You can do it. No donut. Order the donut, eat the donut.
Yes.
You know, like just, it was not even a thing. I had given up. I was like, nope, you're going to fail at this every time. So just stop trying. And then for these other health reasons, I started carnivore, and all of a sudden I'm like, donuts. Even in front of a giant spread of beautiful cupcakes decorated and just gorgeous, I'm like, no thanks. I'll have cheese and a coffee, you know?
Isn't that wild?
It was incredible. Like, I didn't even know that it was possible. I thought that was just normal.
Yes.
So yeah, incredible difference.
I've had the
And
same
even-
experience going from irresistible, couldn't stop, would eat till I hurt afterwards, to how you described it, I think is perfect. Right? Like, it's not even really food. I can appreciate, wow, that took a lot of time and effort. That's very pretty. It might even smell nice. Same for flower arrangements, right? Wow, that's very pretty. It took time and effort. It smells nice. And yet I don't eat them. It's that simple for me. I can just give it a big I love that for both of us, Colleen. And also, it's a nice lead in. Thank you for sharing that. And I think Rachel has also had a similar experience. But Rachel, yours, if you could just sort of tack on to what Colleen was saying, what was the real key to making that change?
Yeah, it was the advice that you gave, that was to not let any sweet taste pass your lips. Because like Colleen, I had no willpower, and I thought it was just my fault. I'm just, I have no discipline, and I can't resist sweets, and I can't resist carbs. And I would go to like a family gathering, and I'd have my little slice of pie a la mode with caramel. And then halfway through, I'm thinking about, when can I get the next slice of pie? Yes. If I walk over there now, will anybody notice that I put more pie on my plate? You know, and then when I'm done, I'm like, gosh, we're going to be here for a few more hours. There's still some pie left. Maybe I could go over there and get some more, if nobody's looking. Turn on the game or something. Nobody will notice maybe if I get a third slice. But it was just no willpower at all. And starting carnivore now, honestly, my story is so similar to Hannah's. It was like you could like cut and paste her story for mine. And I mean, just like the hormonal issues, the estrogen dominance, the pain. So many, the lack of energy, cortisol issues, all of that. When I came to finding carnivore, it was at the beginning of 2024, like January of 2024. And the same thing, I was praying. I was like, God, I can't do this. It's just been defeat after defeat after defeat. And it just felt like my body was just sliding into this deterioration. And I didn't know what to do. And I was like, I can't have the rest of my life be like this. Yeah. And so I was like, well, I heard about carnivore. I'm like, I'll just try this wacky diet and see what happens, because I've got nothing to lose. I've tried so many other things. Nothing else is working. It's been all defeat. So let me see if I can have a little victory here, And I would listen to, the interviews and everything, and so many people had success, and I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna try it, because I want my success story, right? Yes. So about 3 days in, literally 3 days into not having any sweet taste, I'm talking no stevia, no sweetener in my coffee. I replace my toothpaste. I don't take the little vitamin C tablets, like no sweet taste at all. 3 days in, the cravings were gone. Now, I don't think I had ever experienced this. So it was like a whole new world. And not only that, I also lost my wine cravings. I didn't even know I had wine cravings. I used to have it like, it was like a little ritual. After work, I would, have a little glass of wine, relax a little bit, start dinner. It was kind of my transition point into the evening. Yes. But I looked up, and a few days later, I had no wine and I had no desire for it. I was like, this is so weird. Who knew they were connected? I mean, I guess people knew. I didn't know. But but it made it so much easier to resist that. And I could totally relate to what you guys were saying about the sweets at the family events and the get-togethers. They just look like table decorations to me. You know, they're just pretty, like centerpieces, ornaments. You know, it's not
Yes.
food, it's just decorations. And now I've gotten so much better at being able to resist, because people be like, "Oh, you've done so well. You know, you can just have a piece of cake. You can just have a little piece."
Yeah.
No, I love you dearly. I'm not eating your cake, because I will have no peace for 3 days and I will have to start all over again. So I'm like, no, 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 I'm good. I'm good. Thank you so much. Love you, mean it. But yeah, not having any sweet taste has been huge, huge, life changing for me. And I've been able to lose 40 pounds. I have not shifted weight like that in over a decade, maybe 15 years. So I'm finally seeing my success story, which is so great after being so discouraged and feeling so hopeless for so long. It's wonderful. Thank you.
I think you were going to win most relatable person of the year award, because everything you were saying about the pie, like, yes. Please let them get distracted so nobody will know how many times I went back to that table.
I
So
know you almost
relatable.
want to cause a distraction. Like, can I like throw
Fire!
something?
Fire!
Right, exactly.
Quick, I'll save the pie. Yes. I love it. Rachel, I'm so happy for you. You shared that beautifully. Thank you so much. That
Thank
was
you.
awesome. All right, up next is a face that many of you have probably been sitting here going, ketogenic woman, it's Anita Bree. Well, yes, it is, as a matter of fact. And if you haven't been sitting here thinking that, folks, what are you even doing with your life? I'm going to tag her account below. You need to go check out Anita on YouTube, the ketogenic woman. So I am really honored that you are here today. And I'm also very curious to find out, what have you changed recently that's been working?
Well, in September, I set a few goals. I decided, more like habits. I decided I was going to try a few things on a regular basis, because you've been saying for months to have, one metabolic reset a week, maybe, sometimes two. And I never really followed up on that. I would just randomly have them. So I decided I was going to do one type of fat fast per week and one type of lean day per week. And what I chose for my fat fast on the last one, it was the first time I'd ever done it, was a butter day. And so I ate only butter for the whole day. I found that it's really tasty. Somebody suggested this to me, to put some flaked finishing salt on it, or some Redmond's smoked salt. And then it almost tastes like you're actually having something to eat besides just butter.
Yes.
It was really good. Like, I didn't think I'd be able to do it, but it was very satisfying. And I kind of got the idea for that when from Dr. Boz. She mentioned it, but also you had mentioned bone broth fast with butter in it. And I thought, well, I'll just do the butter, because I didn't have any bone broth, in my freezer that week. And the other thing is a lean day. Now, about 2 years ago, I had some real success doing alternate days of protein sparing modified fast.
Yes.
But I found after, I guess, about 3 weeks of that, I couldn't face them anymore, because they're very low fat, 30 grams of fat, I seem to remember. And that just did a number on me. And every time I tried to do another one, I would feel really unstable, and I started to feel like it was setting me up for bad behavior following.
Right.
And so I thought, okay, it worked, but I can't do it the way it was laid out. So I started doing what I call Anita Lean Day. It's like there's a little bit of play on words. Anita Lean Day. So I did it my way, right?
Yes.
And basically, I'm just eating. I'm not trying to hit, the typical protein sparing calories, nor am I trying to stay under the fat, but I'm just eating lean meat to hunger.
Yes.
And I'm still adding a little bit of fat where I feel I needed it. So when I tracked that, I found I was hitting about between 1,200 and 1,300 calories a day, which is quite a deficit from my TDEE.
Yeah.
But I was also hitting about 50 grams of fat a day, which is still really low.
Yeah.
But that extra 20 grams of fat seemed to make the difference between making a protein sparing day survivable for me or not. And just doing it once a week, I'm never going to do that more than once a week. And I always make sure I have a good refeed day the next day. Like I go right back to fatty meats all day long, 70-30 range calories from fat. I just find that it's doable for me now. And I'm in the home stretch with my weight loss. For those that don't know, I was over 320 pounds. I've lost 145 pounds. But these last
Amazing.
30 pounds, it's just inching off.
Yes.
But I find now adding those 2 metabolic resets per week, I think this month I'm going to end with a weight loss of a couple of pounds. Now, I'm celebrating that because I often will go through a month. I do everything right, according to the books, and my weight stays the same. So what I appreciate about you, Kelly, is how you understand that some of us seem to need these tweaks to keep going, and these metabolic resets to keep going. And your groups that's the cheering section for me. That's the cheerleader squad I need to go, yes, I know it's only going to be a pound this month or 2 pounds this month, but I'll take it because they add up over a year.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. When you're down to your last 30, if you lose 1 to 2 pounds a month, but you do that for 12 months, hello.
I know.
Now you're a lot closer to the goal. So I think there are a lot of takeaways here I think that people will appreciate. First of all, even when somebody has lost 140 pounds, that last part can get really slow and really frustrating. Yes. And there's no point along the way of 140 pounds where you say, wow, every single day I lose weight. That's just not how it works. Right?
No, it is not a linear thing. It's up and down with that trend going down.
Yes. And then also for people to hear that if you were to throw in a lean day once a week, you might feel great and break a little stall. I do see that work really well. If you were to do it every other day, or some people try every day that way, I think, how on earth are you functioning with that little amount of fat? But I do find that a day, sometimes 2 per week, and then especially if you counter that with a really high fat, with a fat fast, which I've done a lot of fat fasting where you eat nothing but fat, or up to 20 grams of protein is what I call a fat fast for myself, that you feel good and the scale is moving. And I love that you named it an Anita Lean Day. That's so cool because I'm all about make it yourself. When somebody asks me, what are the rules of a fat fast? I'll say, according to who? Because we're all just making this up, right?
I get that a lot too. Yeah. What, can you have this? Can you have that? Yeah.
Sure. I mean, my question is, I don't know. Can you? Because I either can't. I'm like Rachel, no taste of sweet to my lips whatsoever. But some people say, they're flavored electrolytes. Don't throw them off. It doesn't cause cravings. So the question is always, I'm not sure. I know my answer for myself, but there's only one way for you to find out. So thank you so much for that, Anita. I appreciate you.
Thanks for allowing me to be here.
Absolutely. Thank you. All right. Hi, I have Michelle up next. Michelle has, at least the beginning of her story, is so common. Just what I hear the most, which is, oh, I should be able to maintain my weight eating at maintenance calories, but that's way more than I normally eat, and I'm maintaining weight far below that. So now what? If any of you don't know what a reverse diet is, I will link to a video I did recently with Katie Kelly, but I think what Michelle is going to share might help talk you through what that process is like. So hi, Michelle.
Hi, I joined your group in April. I'd been a carnivore for 5 years and I had lost a lot of weight, but the last 12 pounds was still holding on like a barnacle on a boat. It was not going. And I didn't know how to shift it. I just didn't know how to shift it. So I came along to join your group for some insight. And I wanted to be among like-minded people, basically, because when you're a carnivore, you don't discuss it a lot with people because you get the "you're going to die" conversations. So I joined your group, and one of the first things that I learned about was my TDEE. And I did my TDEE, and I actually thought that I was eating really well. I was full, I was happy, I was healthy, my markers were all fantastic. I was eating less than 1,000 calories a day. And I genuinely did not know, because I would have a big fat steak and a couple of eggs, and I felt great. But you put that big fat steak into the carb manager, and I was just not eating enough at all.
Yeah.
So I'm one of those people, I'm an all or nothing personality. So if I'm going to do something, I just jump in, 2 feet, straight in. And you said to incrementally put it up, and I went, no. And so I literally just, the same day, I went up to 1,600 calories, because that was my deficit to lose weight amount that I should be having for my height, weight, etc. And 1,600 calories was a full 600 calories more than I was eating.
Yeah.
Did not gain an ounce. Did not gain, did not lose. I just maintained. And I did that for 2 months, because I thought it's going to come off soon. It's going to come off soon. And it didn't. It still didn't. And then there was a conversation about going up to your maintenance number that you're at, that you should be having when you're at your goal weight. So I then went up to 2,000 calories a day. And 2,000 calories a day from 1,000 calories a day. And the first week, I gained 1.3 kilos, which is about 2.5 pounds.
Yes.
And I was okay with that. I didn't have a panic. I just thought, so I just trust the process.
Yes.
And I kept eating the 2,000 calories a day. And I did that for the best part of a month. And my weight just stayed the same.
Okay.
I just maintained at 2,000 calories.
Yes.
2 weeks ago, I cut back down to the deficit number, and
Yes.
I'm having 1,700 calories a day.
Yeah.
And in 2 weeks, as of this morning, I've lost 7.5 pounds.
Oh, baby, that's exactly how this is supposed to work. Michelle, you went from stucker than stuck at 1,000 calories up to 2,000 maintenance calories, stayed there 2 weeks as recommended,
No.
at least
4
weeks, stayed there even
4 weeks.
4 weeks. Fabulous. And then you did the drop, and for the last couple of weeks, now down 7. That is textbook how this should go. I am so proud of you. For people watching, I know I frequently hear the hardest thing is, I'm not losing, but I have to eat more first. Yes.
Yes. And honestly, one more thing. When I get to my goal weight, because now I know it's when,
Yes.
I am looking forward to eating 2,000 calories again a day.
Yes.
Yay.
I am so pumped for you. It's just the most exciting thing ever for someone to have more energy, to be able to eat more food, to feel better, and to get better results is one of the greatest thrills. Michelle, I'm just really proud of you.
Honestly. Yeah, fabulous. So
Awesome.
thank you.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
And to tag on to what Michelle was just saying, Elizabeth was supposed to be here to share today, but something changed with work just a few minutes ago before we recorded. She was going to share how she also had to start eating more, but once she started eating more, her energy came back. She started moving more. She felt better. And now she says, I'm losing weight far easier than when I was a chronic undereater. And it is a pretty common tale, but it's one that I wish would be told every single day on every channel. Let's talk about it. That was great. Thank you, Michelle. Hey, Taryn, thanks for joining us today. What's new with you lately?
Hi, Kelly. It's great to be here. So I am a lot like Anita, that I was in your groups for a very long time, and I listened to you talk about Metabolic Reset Days, and I was like, oh, that's nice. And on occasion, I would try one. Things were going pretty well. That's probably why I ignored it for a while. And then February hit, and then February through about July, I stalled, meaning no weight loss, kind of just up and down, maybe a pound here or there.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, this is not fun, and I don't know why this is happening. And I thought, maybe my body just wants to be this weight for the rest of the time because nothing's happening.
Yeah.
And I knew better. So I was like, okay, maybe I need to dig back into the handbook and dig into stuff and see. And I talked with some other people in my group and the Facebook group. And the one Wednesday, we decided to do a bone broth fast. And I was like, all right, I'll try this. I really don't want to do water fasting. It's not for me. I like to eat. We tried it. It went well. The scale moved. I was like, okay. Then I was like, all right, I'm going to do a fat fast because I really like the creme brulee. I've eaten it before, but I could eat it all day. That's what a fat fast is going to let me do. So I was happy and I was like, let's do this. Well, the scale moved again after I did that. So I was like, all righty, I like this a lot. I don't feel like I'm doing anything weird. I don't feel like I'm not eating.
Yeah.
I almost feel like I'm celebrating because I'm eating creme brulee and pork belly and all the fat. So from mid-July till I think it was like mid-August of kind of doing these weekly, I lost 8 pounds.
Whoa.
So
awesome.
now I keep throwing them in here or there. The only one I think I haven't done is a lean day, which I might do. And I haven't done a full sardine fast, but I did eat sardines again yesterday, which is a big one for me. So
yes. Yeah, I think even if you're not going to do like 3 days of sardine fast or like Jane Crummett, 100 days of sardine fast, right? That just having them occasionally still gives benefits of the omega-3s and the vitamin D. And I just shared with my groups recently, if you do have low vitamin D levels, it's proven in research that it's very hard to release body fat. So just getting those omega-3s for inflammation and vitamin D levels up, that's a win. So Taryn, fat fasting, creme brulee, a little bit of extra sardines, some bone broth fasting, and baby, you are cooking with gas. I love it. This is exciting. Taryn, you always bring joy to our group. Our Wednesday night group is just full of a lot of love, and you are part of that. And thank you for sharing today. Awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, I have Kathy. Kathy, tell me what has been one of your recent changes or something that you've noticed as a breakthrough?
Well, I started keto in 2019. I was 328 pounds. Yeah, they all tell you can't lose weight, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm not going for that. I've got to do something. Time's going to pass anyway. So what I did was I went keto and I lost weight. I lost like 80 pounds.
Wow.
And then, beginning of 2022, I got cocky. I thought, I know what I'm doing here. I don't need to track anything. I didn't even put away the scale. That's how cocky I was getting.
Wow.
And then I'm like, something's not right here. I think I'm gaining weight just from my clothes. So I get on the scale and I'm like, oh my goodness, I gained 20 pounds. So I'm like, what was I thinking? I started tracking beginning of 24. I lost 20 pounds. And then by September, 9 months had passed and nothing's happening here. So I'm like, what is going on? And I decided to join a group, your group. I heard your group. I'm not a joiner by nature. I decided I'm going to join your group and see where that goes. I wasn't expecting much, truly. Because I was listening to you and Anita every day. And I thought, okay, this does help, listening to somebody else. I couldn't believe the difference it made. I am so surprised. Nobody is more surprised with me than anybody. Any of my friends will tell you I'm basically a hermit. I go out if I have to. I'm not afraid I don't have social anxiety or anything. Lots of people annoy me. So I stay inside, and I always joke. My neighbors say, I haven't seen you in a long time. I said, yeah, I'm staying inside to save myself a jail sentence. So I joined your group, and I can't even tell you what made the difference. It's just everybody talking to each other on a regular basis, I guess, or whatever. As of last week, officially, because I wait a week to see if the numbers stay the same.
Yes.
I've lost 102 pounds.
Oh, Kathy, yes.
Yeah, so I have another 75 to go, but I'm good. I can live with that. I know I feel like now with the group, and this is what's astonishing to me, that group can make so much of a difference if you let it.
Yeah.
I don't know at other places where you go in person and stuff, people aren't really sharing that much. It's more the lecture. I think that's the difference, is that people are sharing their story, and that helps inspire you and give you confidence that, yeah, they're having a hard time. I'm having a hard time. She got over it. I'll get over it. It's like that. So I can't recommend tracking and joining the group highly enough. I really feel like that's really took me over the edge. And now I feel like I can do it as long as I stay connected. But I'm trying to build habits too.
Yeah.
It's changing my routine, getting in a habit of doing certain things at a certain time. So I think I'm on my way. I'll make it.
I know you are going to inspire a lot of people. And I know some of you at home thought Rachel was relatable. And it was just true. And then here came Kathy with, I don't want to leave the house because, people are annoying. That was great. The combination of the two. Many people will be like, yes and yes. The fact that at 76, you said, you know what? I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to take care of my body. I'm going to drop this 102 pounds now. I'm going to join a group. And hello, you're going to go on a YouTube channel. What do you think about that? That's amazing. I'm really proud of you, Kathy.
That's way outside my box.
Yeah, the box is a distant memory at this point, right?
Yeah, it's in an alternate universe, but yeah.
I love it.
I love your groups, and I love you in particular. I get a lot of inspiration from Adina as well.
Yeah. Oh, me too.
I'm going between you and her. I'm actually bought 2 cans of sardines, so I haven't got that far yet to open them up, but I'm close.
Anita, we've influenced her to buy them. They're still in the pantry, but we've got her 2 cans in, one for you and one for me.
Yeah.
I love it. Ladies, thank you all so much for coming here. I hope the people who listened will gain something from this. If any of you watching at home thought that one of these tips was helpful or you related to anything in the video, please comment below. I'm sure they would love to come back and read the comments. Thanks for spending time with us today, and we'll see you guys next time. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.